So what you do here is what's your number right now? Go to maybe like 12. Hey. And you're going to hit the bumping button. Okay?
Yeah, what's the difference between the pager and the nick?
Pager is vibration.
Okay.
It's just vibration. I only use it to test if the collar is working.
Got it.
We're going to see how she does just solely the remote collar.
Okay.
The reason why I do just remote and not remote and prong right now is I want to see how much is the remote doing by itself.
Yeah.
We can always incorporate it with the prongs, perfectly safe to use. For like kind of the immediate control, like let's say you turn a corner and then there's like a moment. Yeah. That's where the prong kicks in. This is more so the mental control, and as much as possible, solely that.
Yes.
The prong is kind of like the backup. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see how she does. Any questions? I sent you the videos, correct?
Yes.
Any questions about that stuff in the video?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't like tested it on her with you.
Make sure like the fit and the numbers and all that stuff.
I think the fit.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's good.
Yeah, and then she's got short fur.
Yeah.
It really, the fit is really important when you got thicker fur dogs.
Yep.
Like that guy, or even like huskies, German shepherds and stuff like that. So we should be fine. So we're gonna go ahead and get our working number.
Okay.
So you have it on what now? 12?
12.
Okay, so go ahead. We're gonna just look at what's the name of it?
Kirby.
Kirby, and give it. When I say tap, you're gonna press your button. Okay. Tap, tap, tap. No response, right?
Yep.
Let's go to 16.
I feel like she's very distracting.
Tap, tap, tap. Nothing. 20. Tap, tap, tap. So I can see a slight muscle twitch. Can you see it?
A little bit.
So we have connection, but we don't have working number quite yet. Okay. 24. Tap, tap, tap. 28. This is normal. Tap, tap, tap. A little something there, right? 32. Tap, tap. So there it is, right?
Good girl.
So here, once she felt it, and we're probably going to end up bumping it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You saw the response, right? So now we're kind of in the perception level range. You got 32.
Yes.
Let's try 36, okay? And tap. Oh, right there.
Good girl.
So you see that big movement, right? And I'm going to have you, no praise.
Okay, good to know.
Right.
I feel like
I'm not against it.
Yeah.
But we want to forget everything that you've done before.
Okay.
Okay, it's going to be solely remote and body language. Once you understand it, the reason for not the praise is praise stimulates the brain, right? It creates this energy. And if you have a nervous or anxious dog, the more passive they are, the better they are with handling their that kind of nervous anxiety.
Yeah.
The more you stimulate, the harder it is for them to kind of dial down. Okay, so we're not trying to make a robot here and stuff, but for now,
just keeping like all energy of all kinds, like
yes, right?
Because
There's enough energy here.
Yeah.
Right. That when we do behavior obedience stuff, like earlier we had a puppy, he was 6 months old, and it was the same thing. We were holding back, but then when he did 12, like good, right? It was just like very just monotone type stuff. In the beginning, I want you to not have to worry about it.
Yeah, because it has always been hard being like, okay, correct her, but then when she does it, like, praise her, it's like
It's
a lot.
contradictory.
Yeah.
Because like if growing up, and my mom wasn't like, hey Jesse, did you break any windows? I was like, no ma. She's like, good job. I was like, you just don't fucking break windows, right?
Yeah.
That's how it is. So here, the obedience that we're doing is obedience stuff, but there's a discipline behind it where it's kind of like you're expected to do this.
Yes.
But it's still appropriate, right? So we gradually went up. We found a working number now. So that one tap, and right away it was a pretty big movement. That's how I can decipher, right?
Yeah.
So we have connection, which is just a twitch. We have perception, which is, okay, I kind of feel something. And then there's, oh, what was that? Right?
Yeah.
And I want the, oh, what was that? Because that's what allows us to work in settings like this right off the bat.
And how do they, like how, I guess what we're going to be doing is how are we teaching them to be like, okay, well, I press this, I want your attention, but is it like sit, is it heel, and like run with me?
We're
Is
going
it
to
just
start with
like,
heel, correct?
Okay.
We're going to start with heel. We're going to remove all words. We're going to remove all praise. We're going to keep it simple. What we are going to do is we're going to give a bit of slack, and we're going to work right here, okay? We'll be your eyes, because dog reactive, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, right.
And sometimes people, so.
All right, So I'll have you use your better judgment if you see something coming. If you have to just step aside and shorten your leash, like like Luke has done here, that's perfectly fine. Until you start to see like, oh, like this is a different type of attention. Like it's not like asking for it. It's just she's just opting to give it to you.
Okay.
That's the difference between dog training stuff and like more of a decollar, advanced off leash stuff.
Okay.
Who's going to be her handler right to start?
You can try first.
Who does the most walking?
He does.
He does?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's in part then because
I
he generally
can't.
walks better with me, and because I'm a little more capable with the Prong. It's not like by design that way. I
Sure.
think, like,
Okay,
it's
well then let's start with you. Okay. You're going to go ahead and switch here. And
Well, I've always had her in this hand, but not
you have it on the right, as long as it's consistent.
Okay.
You're going to do right side?
Yep.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're actually going to give slack. I'm going to have you give, what is that, a 6-foot leash?
Yep.
That's good right there. Do you know how to lock your leash? Can you show her how to lock the leash with Scotty? Careful, because dog reactive.
Good.
So here, if you look at Enrique's right hand, right? See how he's wrapping it around his finger?
Yeah.
But you're going to give more slack. So give about a little bit more, Enrique, a little bit more right there, right? So then clasp it. So you see that hold he's got going on? Clasp it. That locks the leash. I know you have a little bit of a thicker one.
Yeah. Well, so am I doing with two hands or like, because I got this and
So
like,
you're going to keep it in your right hand. Do a right hand hold. Just take your leash, run your right thumb, Enrique.
Wait, what?
Your right thumb. You're going to do the double hold in one hand. But she wants the leash all in one hand. Yes. Like that.
Oh, so just go like this.
And then show her the wrap around the
This?
forefinger. There you go.
Okay.
Right? And get a little bit more slack. You're good.
Okay.
Okay? So the reason for that hold is that locks your leash. Should Kirby have a moment in lunge, it's not going to pop out of your hand.
Yeah.
Okay? When you do the wrap around, like the handle around the
It can
wrist,
go.
that can come off. Or it'll feed through your hand and you get rope burn. Okay? When you do this hold, both around the thumb, and then it's like a double lock. Okay? So the reason for giving her slack is we need Kirby to make mistakes in order for us to teach her what we need her to do. Okay?
Yep.
It's gonna be a very simple exercise.
Okay.
So here, you're just gonna start walking, and I'll coach you through it. But the main thing I want you to remember is when you move forward, once Kirby gets ahead of you, you're gonna immediately 180 and start tapping and go the opposite way.
Okay.
Okay, so walking, she passes, turn, tap, tap, tap. She's here.
Like 3 taps.
I'll coach you through it.
Okay.
I'll say tap, and you'll tap each time I say so. So if I say tap, 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 that's rhythm. If I say tap, 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 that would be your rhythm. Okay? Because I have to see what she does in order to determine what she needs.
Yeah.
So once she passes, turn, tap, tap, tap. She's here. Good. Should she pass off again? Tap, tap, 180, the opposite.
Okay.
But you're always making 180 to the right.
Towards her.
Sorry, to the left. You're backwards.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say I would do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
Okay.
to the left because you're backwards. I usually teach on the left side. Okay. So you'll have to remind me.
Okay.
It's fine. You have to remind me. So you're gonna do 180s to the left.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and give her a wee bit more slack here. There you go. That's pretty good.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And then just forward. 180. Tap. 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 Yeah. No. Yeah. Gotta unlearn that stuff. 180. Tap. 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 You're at 35.
Yeah.
Just start 38. 180, tap, forward, tap, tap. Good. $180, tap, tap. 41. $180, tap, 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 tap. 44. Turn, tap, tap, tap. And you're doing the bumpy one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Turn, tap, 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 tap. 47. Turn, tap, tap. I feel like we lost connection somehow.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Really?
dying.
Yeah, that's fine. This is life. Okay?
Okay.
It's not always gonna be perfect. Turn, tap, tap, tap.
Is it, do you see it? Like, is it
No, what's your number now?
48?
51. We might get a yip, but it's all right. Turn, tap, tap, tap. There it is. Okay, good. Turn, tap, tap, tap. A little better. I'm gonna have you speed up. Now slow. Good. Slow turn. Tap, forward, tap, 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 tap. There, good. Now we have connection. We have puppy touch.
Yeah.
Let's speed up. Pull your right tap. Go to step off to the side for a moment. Hold right there. Pause. Tap. Tap. Good. You're at 51 now?
Oh my god, I get so nervous when I pass dogs and like, I have her like loose like that.
That's all right.
I'm actually not worried about the dog. It's like the random like rollerblader.
Oh, sure.
Scare the shit out of this.
Sure. All right. And again, forward. Yeah, tap forward. Good.
Behind me.
There you go. Good. Good. You got dogs, by the way, too. Go ahead and pause for a second. Hold right there. Tap. Good. Forward. Good. Welcome to House Park. You guys been here before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We live in the block, right?
Okay. Yeah, super convenient. Good. Back on the sidewalk. Good. Slack. Good. Slow turn to your left. Forward. Tap. Good. Slack. There it is. Good. Keep it forward. Good.
I don't want her like behind me.
So speed up a little. And tap. 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 That's better. Now slow. To your right. Good. To your left now. Back on the sidewalk. Sharp left. Turn. Tap. Good. Forward. Good. It's okay. So here, what we're trying to do is just teach her to move to the leg, right?
Yeah.
So you see how she keeps looking towards you?
Yep.
Okay. That's not going to be forever. That's just right now because she's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Pull to your right and tap. Good. There you go. And relax. Good. Slow turn to your left. Forward. Tap. Good. There you go. And relax. Good. Now walk slower. Keep forward. Tap. Tap. There she goes. Now walk slower. Good. Slower. Pull to your right. Tap. 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 Good. And relax. Good. Good. And a slow pivot around to your left. There you go. Forward. Good. And relax. Good. Slower. And stop. Okay, you want to keep to her where you're here to her. There you go, like that, right? So you're keeping it in position. Are you seeing the difference here?
Oh, like remarkably so. And yeah.
So you see how she's curving her head around your body and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you know why that is?
No.
You know why that is? Because you keep making...
Oh, so she's like, are we gonna turn?
Exactly, right? So this is common in the beginning. And she's like, if I'm already looking this way, I can catch it sooner.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine.
Okay.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So the remote, we just inched it up until I found the number that I felt was speaking to her without having to force her to listen, right? So
Yeah.
remember last time we came, like it was like there was a couple of corrections, it was fine on the prong. There was a lot of verbal stuff, right?
Yeah.
I expect the dog to do things like pay attention, but we have to teach the dog to do so. And we do that by having them close the gap. So every time she goes one way, instead of yanking her back, I pivot off to the opposite way and use the remote to bring her here. Just keep repeating that. So eventually she thinks, crap, this contraction, I don't like it. And every time I get space from mom, it goes off.
Yeah.
So when I'm here, it goes away. So, excuse me, most people try to teach the heel by popping the dog back.
Yeah.
Or they'll zap them, right? Do this. It's a forever problem. In my book, it's the worst way to train, okay? I go, you want to go that way? Sure, but I want to go this way, and I'm going to annoy you until you come my direction.
Yeah. And can I do it as well to make her come stay here? Because I don't like dragging behind me.
That's why I had you speed up.
Okay.
Right, so you're essentially going opposite to the dog. If she goes ahead of you, you're going the other way, right? If she's lagging, well then I speed up because you're trying to get her to close the gap.
Yeah.
If she goes to the left, you pull to the right and tap until she pops over. What's important is that it's the tap that puts her in position. You're merely guiding her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just being like, no, you're not there, you're not there. And then,
Here you are, right? So what we're doing is she's learning that the pressure, because there's two forms of pressure. We have leash pressure and we have e-collar pressure, and then you could also have prong collar pressure, right? They're all forms of communication. So for her, I don't want to drag her to the right because then I do all the work, right? I'm just saying, hey, you want to go this way if you want this to go away. And if this is at the appropriate number, she's going to go, this really sucks, how do I turn it off? Boom.
come here.
There it is, right?
Okay.
So people tend to apply it as a punisher, as in, don't pull me. But the dog doesn't understand the concept of pulling anyways.
Right.
Okay, so it's, instead, you're going the wrong way, I'm going this way. And then she starts to learn to see it more so as a communicator. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And the number is simply, according to the context, if it's a quieter environment, your number might be 30, and she's perfect, okay? Here we got a lot more going on, it's 50 something. Good, okay? Questions so far?
So far, I'm good. I'm just like, this is just so not what I'm used to.
Well, definitely she's got a baseline, right? So that helps. But it's just changing the way we think about things, okay? I train the way a dog thinks. So even if she had zero lick of training, we'd already be at the same stage.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have you give a little bit more slack. Oh, there you go. That's good. And forward. Tap. Tap. There she goes. Good girl. Good turn. Yep. Speed up. Good. And slow. Yeah, that's good. And stop. Good. Take one step. Okay, this is okay. So what you can do here is you might have to shorten it a bit and lightly pull forward and tap to pop her a little bit more towards the leg. There you go. Right there. Then relax. 3 steps. Again, you're right. Yeah, there you go. Good job. 5 steps. Good. 1 big step. Good. Okay, so that's what heel should look like.
Crazy.
Right? Now I'm going to have you slow pivot to your left. Good. And speed up. Tap to speed her up. There she goes. And a girl. job. Slow pivot. Correct. Yep. Now forward. Excellent. Can you do like a light jog and then do a dramatic slowdown? Good. Turn. And I'm going to have you walk like stupid slow. Good. And stop. Okay. So she should be like your shadow.
Yeah.
And all it took was going the opposite way with the device at the appropriate number that's overriding everything else. Okay? Questions so far? So we're going to add a little bit more. We're going to add in Scotty. Okay? He's a board and train.
The dog on dog.
We're going to do walking past and stuff like that to work on like reactivity stuff.
Yes.
Okay? So I'm going to have you, because we're going to press it, we're going to close gaps and stuff. We're going to shorten just a little bit. Relax, that's fine, right? Yep. So what I with the shortening of the leash here, it's simply because we're going to add in the dog, right? So in case you try something, it's not going to get far, but I don't want you to use this at all.
Okay.
Okay, it's still the remote, so if you have to do a pivot for any reason, you can let slack slide through and then stop it if you need to so that they don't get, close to each other. Does that make sense? And you would still use the remote because I don't want you to get stuck on using physical to direct her. It should be all the remote and you simply moving away.
Okay.
Okay? So go ahead and start walking down and then we'll bring in Scotty. Go ahead, Enrique. Go here. Outside. How you have it, and then we might have to switch it up so that the dog.
He's turning left, yeah.
Good. I'm going to try that again. We're going to close that gap a little bit. Good. One more time. A little closer, okay? Right, so you saw the side eye?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's some discomfort there. It's okay. Now we're going to try. Yes. But you're going to give some space here, okay? So now we're going to bring Scotty on the inside.
Okay.
And we're going to start further out first, away from each other. And we're going to slowly come closer. Now when you're coming to the pass by, relax. Just look. Watch your body language. And I was looking at her eyes, sure, like when we brought Scotty the closest.
She's like,
Start doing that, right?
Yep.
So right there, you could technically tap and say, don't worry about Scotty, worry about this right there.
okay.
Okay? Go ahead.
I feel like she did not even like.
Good. Yep. Yeah. So a little pucker. And one more time. There. Good. Okay. Slow to stop. And I'm gonna have. What's your release word?
Okay.
I'll have you say okay.
Okay.
And then bring her to the grass. We're gonna let her settle for a second. Okay. So right now, all this stuff is fresh to her.
Yeah.
Okay. Expect when you're in a more organic setting, if you will, and you're going on an actual walk, and you come past a dog, it might be a little different. Okay. So the easiest way to handle reactivity in the beginning is just step aside and let it pass. But I always face the stimulus.
Yeah, I never like.
Yeah, I don't cover. I don't like body block. I don't do this. I don't go behind a car. I step aside. I give space. So if you're on a sidewalk with grass, I just go to where the curb is, and then I shorten my leash. So if she becomes reactive, limited range of motion, and then also I have more leverage. The more leash you give her, the higher you have to go before you make contact with that collar, the flag collar, to keep her physically in the
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we always do this. And then I just relax and I watch. Because if you're already like this, you're already feeding tension, which is most likely going to lead to an escalation.
Yep.
So I'm relaxed. I have my e-collar, whatever the number is, 55. And then as the dog's coming, I'm watching her, but I'm looking for my peripheral range. So like, let's say as a dog gets 10 feet close, you start to see her mouth pucker, like a little grumble or something.
Yeah.
You can technically tap that.
Okay.
And you're saying, don't worry about it. Because that's just step one.
Yeah.
People tend to wait for 10, which is, or before they jump in with the correction. I go, no, if you do it that late, you have to be even higher on the level to override the dog. Then if the correction is too high, then it's kind of so traumatic to the dog that they don't even retain anything. They're like, then they're worried about too much power.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find a number that if she did become reactive and I talk to her, she would just go, oh, and sit back, like chill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, and it becoming a bigger scene than it is.
Just like any sign of like, I mean, so should I not even like really let her have eye contact or like look
Depends
at
on the dog. So like some dogs, like you give them a little bit of a look and they just blow up.
Yeah.
Right? If what you would most likely start seeing is as she becomes more passive, if she's able to look, and maybe in the beginning she grumbles and you'll remote her, she'll probably do this, right? And then I don't even care about, I don't reward that because I don't care about that. I care about her not being reactive.
Yeah.
But if you reward it, then she's thinking this, so then it's like you always have to push to that exact behavior, and I don't need exact behavior, I just need don't become reactive.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So like most trainers do like the sit and the look at me. Like if your dog's looking at you, they can't look at that dog, therefore they can't blow up. Like, but that's so many steps. How about just don't blow up? Okay? Make it simple. The only reason why I do the step aside is it's easier to keep a dog under control from escalation when you're stationary for the handling. Okay? As you get better, like you push things, because I saw she do really well, but again, real life, it's, as you get better, you'll start to get confidence, you'll start to know what you can expect from her, and then there'll be dogs where, you'll just walk right past them because you're like, oh, I'm not worried about them.
Yeah.
And there's other dogs you might think like, no, she should probably step aside because I know that's a tough situation for her.
And so what do you think about, and maybe, I mean, I think the answer is probably just like tapping it as where, like, when she reacts the worst, it's usually like a little dog that we spot from, the whole block down, and she's like,
What's up? I thought I recognized you. Good. That's a former client.
Oh, nice.
Funny, I just took Jack to the vet, and they were like, he walks so well on the leash. We just walked around the vet, and it was just great.
You're a very strict mom, though.
I know. Oh, I'm fine. I don't deal with it. Have fun.
See ya. Her dog ran off on her at the beach.
Oh.
She was like, yeah, you're not. I'm sorry, so you're talking about tapping?
Yeah, so dog's far away. I know she's like locked in, like she's in her like hunter mode, right?
Yep.
So I would tap her. At that point, like because I want to keep walking.
Sure.
Like from a whole block, I don't want to have this like wait the whole time. Like should I keep walking and like how do
that you can do. It's more so when you're gonna come to the crossing point.
Ah, okay.
Right? Because that's what the threshold is really high.
Yes.
Right? So then you step aside, you like, oh, that dog's gonna be right in front of me. That's where we're more inclined to see that explosion.
Okay.
So, but if you're at a block away and you see her zoning in and you tap her and she just goes, sorry, mom, and goes to this, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay, then I can just keep moving. And you also want to utilize space. Okay, so if we have Kirby on our right and the other owner is walking their dog on their right, you have person, dog, dog, person. Right? So you could, one, again, go towards the curb, do the stationary wait, the pass, or you can bring Kirby to your left. Right? And we always go from behind because that's easiest. Otherwise, if you do from the front, you got to do all this other nonsense, right? So I scoot her over, so now it's person, dog, dog. And then I can hug against the side of the sidewalk. I can still keep moving, but now I've created space. I'm like a buffer, okay? And then I would shorten my leash just in case, because the reason why stationary is easier than motion is reactivity is a moving behavior.
Yeah.
Lunge, 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 bark, 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 right? So if you're walking, you're already like a step or two into that motion. That's very easy for the dog to escalate to the next stage. Whereas if you're stationary, they have to go from passive to a little bit of a puppiness to, oh, now I'm gonna explode, right? So there's more of steps involved there. So that's why it's easier to start with. But if you're in a context where it's like, I just have to keep walking because I don't have space, you can do that as well, okay? Obedience is black and white, but your life's not gonna let you have that black and white control all the time. So I do stuff all the time that's outside of the obedience rules because I know it's gonna help me succeed in the moment of life.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And then, so I want her to be at heel, she's doing good, tap tap, yada yada yada. But then I come here and I'm like, okay, well now I want you to like go to the bathroom. Like,
Sure.
it's just okay, and then is that going to confuse her too much? Because it's okay.
On and off. Okay, so think of obedience as clocking her in for work. Right? So like right now I'm working, I'm not on my phone, I'm not talking to other people or anything like that, I'm not wandering off. I'm here with you, I'm teaching. But afterwards, do whatever I want, right? So I'm off the clock. So think of obedience as the same thing. We're not saying heel right now because we're conditioning, reconditioning behavior.
Yeah.
Okay? We will layer it in a week. But I want everything to be done remotely. Okay? So once let's say you start off the potty break, she does her business, and then you just start walking and you tap her, Kirby should run to that right leg, and at that moment, because of the contraction, Kirby knows work time.
Yep.
So there doesn't have to be a verbal cue. The verbal cue is more so for the human.
Yeah.
Okay, to help them understand, like, oh, now my dog is walking with me, right? But once that tap kicks in, that's when all our expectations come into play, our standards. Her left shoulder parallel with your right leg, okay? When you slow down, she slows down. When you speed up, she speeds up. She's here. When you stop, okay, then you're free again. Does that make sense? Other questions?
So I guess outside of the context of the walk, if all that makes sense, and I guess in the spirit of like, she's on the clock, she's off the clock, sort of concept, like let's just say we're sitting in our apartment at home, hanging out, and something, like, we'll hear other dogs, or we'll hear loud noises, or whatever it is, and Kirby will, go into, like, gotta go investigate what that is, growl, whatever. So, I guess the question is, should the e-collar, and maybe it's a lower number because we're in our apartment and it's more of a contained setting, and it's not super distracting like this, but like, should the e-collar just be on all the time? And
yes
like,
and no. So like in the beginning, like let's say for this week, you can use the e-collar because it's the easiest to understand at the moment. But I will give you other tools that are most likely in your home that you can use to correct her. Okay. When it comes to aversives are meant to stop things. So this is an aversive. So we can use this to stop behaviors like growling, barking, so on and so forth.
Like going in the trash.
Yes,
like,
use all that
like
stuff, right? But then dogs can become collar smart, just like people. They're not stupid, right? So that, like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, the Consultation, the cop on the collar, right? So her behavior's going to change, right? So then it's like, oh, we're not even using it, but you don't want to have the collar on her inside the home all the time. That's where other methods of correction come into place. And she's like, oh crap, it doesn't matter if the collar's on or off in the home because mom and dad can still correct me. Okay? When we're teaching obedience stuff, the aversive, there has to be something to teach a dog how to turn off the aversive, which is why you're doing 180s right now. Okay? So in the home, anything that you would like to stop for this week with the e-collar, go ahead and do. It's super simple. Okay? Let's say at 5 o'clock to 7 is when like it's really highly traffic, a lot of people walking around. That's her worst time with the barking stuff. Before 30, she's collared up with me. Okay? I don't wait till 5. And then I have it lower. You can, if you want to get your
Just kind of testing the number again.
just get your connection number or whatever. Don't worry about working. And then she starts barking. I don't even say anything. I'm tapping and I'm bumping the number until eventually she goes,
okay.
What was that, right? And then she shuts up. And they go, 47. Like 47, just taught her to stop barking, right? 20 minutes later goes by. Somebody else walks by. She starts barking. There you go, right? But you want to then decide if you want to eliminate the behavior or if you want to control the behavior. Two different things. Okay? Elimination is we don't want to see it, period. Like reactivity, we don't want to run the barking off, period. In the home, however, some people like the barking because it's secured.
Yeah, that's
right?
fair.
So then you wouldn't want to so much eliminate it, or you might want to eliminate certain contact. So like let's say you don't want to kill barking at the door. There's more to that. We ignore that. Okay, so we get there. But maybe you don't want her barking out the front window because it's never anything important, it has nothing to do with you because it's just maybe you're 3 stories up, right? That you can say, I want to eliminate that. So you'll always correct anytime she's barking out the front window because there's no meaning to it. But barking at the front door, don't correct, and you would cue it because there's something behind it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So whenever she does something, just think to yourself, do I want to control it or do I want to eliminate it?
Yeah.
Okay, so like right now, when she was huffing, I said, yeah. None of that. You don't want it, period. Right? Reactivity, same thing. I was saying, because I wanted to think the behavior itself is what's going to correction. So the way a dog's brain works is most people will say no, stop, or like quiet or something when a dog is barking before they do the correction. I'm like, well now, for your dog, they think, I can do this behavior until I hear this word. But you want them to think, if I don't want the correction, I just don't do the behavior. So if I don't want a ticket, I don't run red lights.
Yeah.
Right? That's how they work. Okay. So once you start to understand that, that's why I do very like no talking and stuff. Because one, trainers typically already teach a lot of talking, or two, we're so inclined. That's how we communicate.
Yeah.
Right? We have words. She has no idea. Yeah, the words are coming out of my mouth. And even if once she associates heal and stuff, that's why I've changed the word from understand to associate. Understand means by definition she knows what it means. She does not. She's associating how does the pressure turn off when that word heal is spoken. If I come here, it disappears. That's what she associates. Okay? So I'm trying to like kind of get people to not look at their dogs as little humans because they think the dog looks like a little human. 3 or 4-year-old kid in the terms of like what they're capable of learning, but still not to the degree that it is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Other questions?
I'm trying to think. So yeah, we could. I mean, last night we were somewhere. We had her in crate. It was some family who she's very comfortable with, and then like strangers who she was not comfortable with, and then like so she was in her crate. It was obviously barking at them. Like same concept. We can like tap and tap until she like quiets.
Yes. So if she's in the kennel, she's going to be more empowered or more under stress because she's confined, and there's an unknown, right? So her barking is coming from a valid place. Same thing, you start low, no words, because you know you just don't want barking. And you just keep going. And you might get to a point where you're high, like at 80 or so, and you get a right?
Yeah.
It's okay. It just means you finally cut through it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I just dip it down. And then you might see she lays down and she just settles for the rest of the night. Good, right? But you have to keep escalating because you have to override her thinking.
Right.
Because if she's thinking, no, I'm right and I don't like these people and I'm stuck in this kennel and I don't trust them, that's technically coming from a place, you know what I mean? So,
Emotions are valid.
Yes. In my experience, when a dog feels as if something, like there's a meaning, there's a purpose, like, oh crap, like this is a bad situation, it's a little bit more difficult to shut them down because of that. So it's like if something's going wrong and you're trying to intervene and someone's like, don't do it, you're like, no, fuck you. This is not supposed to happen, right? And you're more inclined to fight back to get to that, right? Very similar for the dog. We're not that much different. We're all animals. They get nervous, we get nervous. They get anxious, we get anxious. They get aggressive, we get aggressive. Right? It's just we're able to think on a more complex scale. So you might end up going higher than usual, right? But you'll know you hit the right number because you will see the shift.
Okay.
And it might be outside of the norm, like you could be at 105. You might be like, oh crap. But that's why we do incremental. Okay? We don't just go 20 to 100.
It's always like
Exactly.
okay.
Right.
We do the same, like when you go to his parents' house, we throw the ball out. We keep her on like a long line and throw the ball. We're like, in case, reactivity sometimes sees squirrels, sees whatever, and we're like, no, stop. I mean, I don't want to bring this into play if that's a whole different like
Oh, she can be wearing it.
Yeah,
She can be wearing it and you doing that stuff still.
Yeah.
Because you want to teach her that the collar isn't going to always mean discipline. The
Okay.
collar's going to mean
it's still
freedom.
like fun, just like hey, like you went too far in the woods. Can you like come back?
Correct. Right now, I wouldn't use it as a boundary setter quite yet.
Okay, cool.
Because we want to get to recall first before we can apply that because we don't want to push her away. Because that could potentially happen, right? So, but you can absolutely have her wearing it and do your playing stuff. Because yes, like this is meant to give you more control and more freedom. So like we had a client who has a very friendly pit and the dog kind of started like hating training, right? And when I saw, I was like, actually your dog is a lower number because we trained at 70 the first day and the gentleman just stuck on 70, right? And then it turned out we were going down to like 20, maybe 30s, and the dog was doing much better. There wasn't so much, it wasn't so harsh the whole time.
So do we need to like readjust, kind of like, I mean, maybe it's for the first few like days, weeks too, like we go outside versus just walking around versus so it's like a constant like testing where we're at.
Correct, because like let's say you come out, I get my working number, 25 one day, cool. You go for a walk, right? Which is perfect, awesome. The next walk, same thing. And let's say you always go to 25, and 25 is perfect, then I just start off at 25. Right? So in the beginning, and you also want to take contact, so it might be perfect a couple blocks away at your home or neighborhood, but then when you come here, it's 55, right? Because of contact. And it might be always 55 here. Right? And you start to learn these things, and you'll just find yourself just naturally going to the numbers.
Okay.
And the more you expose her, different areas, different parts and stuff like that, the more fluent you become with the collar. So it's not a set answer every day.
Yeah.
Right? 4th of July is going to be different.
Yes.
You have fireworks and all that crap going on. People partying and stuff, a lot of energy. The number can be very high because you have to override all that other stuff, right? But the next day could be 50, could be 20. You know? So she tells you what's too much and what's too little. And once you get used to it, you don't even think about it.
Okay.
Other questions?
I mean, I guess the only other thing I was thinking is more, I guess more the same, but just like, I guess it's more of an aversion concept, but, you know, keep meeting new people, right? Like, so you saw today, she was starting to growl at you, right? And so in the, you know, in the context of life, as we have, you know, a friend over, or, you know, she sees a cousin of mine she's never met before and growls, that's just it's behavior I'd like to eliminate completely.
There's more to that.
But I know it's more nuanced than just like a...
Yes. What I would do for now is kennel.
Yep.
That's the easiest way. Create separation and tell her when you're in the kennel, you're safe, don't worry about it, quiet down. And then just tell your guest, like, hey, don't go, like, hey, like putting your fingers in there. Give her space, give her respect back. And when we get to that stage of the nuance that you're talking about, that's when she's not in the kennel and there's communication of like, yes, we know someone's here, but you still have to be chill and relaxed. Okay? So like, for instance, her growling and stuff at me right now is because the brain wasn't, how do you say, shaped up tight with the discipline.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we're doing here. So the next time I see you, I would expect no growling because now she's more in tune.
Yeah.
If we see it, then we just agree with it, right? There's no kind of right or wrong. There's no set way of how it works. That's just how it typically works. Is after heel, when I see the dog the next time, they're like, oh, whatever, she says. Because now they're much more in tune with the owner because they're worried about you. They're not worried about what's going on around them. Okay. So we're gonna do another quick run with her. Now she's had time to rest. You're at what now? I'm gonna have you go down to 35. So during this time, her brain literally processed everything that you just did. So the brain can be a bit more sensitive, all right? Otherwise, if not, we just slowly work our way back up again. So if you ever work with her and you stop to give her a rest break, I always dip down a bit.
Okay.
Because if she is like more in tune, she'll feel that 55 and, okay? And if she yips, it's okay, you always keep moving. She's not gonna die. Alrighty?
Okay.
And we're gonna do one more run and then we'll switch and have Luke look at it, okay?
I guess one small follow-up.
Forward.
So we will kennel, but I guess just as like life unpredictable stuff, different like insurance should have.
Yes, as long as that's something that's not going to enter the home. So like let's say CPS or Amazon Prime, because you know that they're not going to enter the home and you want to stop barking. You just remote them. If they're going to enter the home, always put in the kennel at this stage. Cat forward. Good, because that's a lot more nuanced than just watching the behavior. There has to be communication telling her that, hey, this person that's coming in is okay.
Yeah.
Good, cat, forward. There you go. So you see how 35 is getting us what 50 got us earlier?
That's the best she's done with like even like kids on scooters, like ever.
You're welcome. Yeah, I can see that she didn't really want to be too close to hit because she gave the space. There we go. Very good. Let's go ahead and swap.
No.
Tap, tap.
What's the
Oh, Enrique, will you show him the grip, please?
It was like
Loop handle around your thumb.
hand around the thumb and then like also around your like.
Your forefinger. There you go, like that. Yes.
Oh.
All right, never mind.
Oh my God! Okay, I'm done. It's so pretty.
Okay. I'm gonna have you go that way. Tap, forward.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey.
No, sweetheart.
Good. Going to go on the sidewalk. Watch for bikes.
Flip.
You're good.
Where are we going?
Keep
I don't
forward.
know.
I
You're
thought you
good.
were going home.
And relax that arm. Good. That's and yep. There you go. Perfect. So you always want to be relaxed. Okay. You get what you give. If you're tense, you're gonna get tension. If you're relaxed, you're gonna get relaxation. Good. Good turn. Nothing here. But you turn with you. Go ahead and speed up really quick. And slow. Good. Yep, pull to your right, tap. Good job. And relax. Good. A little bit more slack. There you go. Good job. Tap, speed her up a little. There she goes, good girl. Pull to your right, tap, good job. Now go super slow. Good, and stop. Good, one big step. Good, go ahead and pivot to your left. Tap forward, tap, good. So right there, she technically should have moved with him, but you see where she got stuck.
Yep.
So I use those moments to my advantage to help teach her to move into that leg. Slow. Stop. Good. Step. Tap, tap forward, tap, tap forward, tap, 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 tap. Good. Can I have you I'm going to use it for a distraction. See when passes by if she tries to do your thing. Good. You're fine. You're good. When you turn back this way, Luke, walk close toward Dana to see if Kirby will pull towards her. And then you'll just keep your motions forward. Good tap, good. Yeah, the girl tap, tap, a little delay though.
Yeah. Just like, hey.
Good turn. As long as she turns with you, we don't need to do it.
Yep.
Right, light jog. And slow. That girl. Good. And I'll have you walk really slow in front of Anna here, okay? Tap the speaker up a little. Tap, tap, tap. She's like, who do I go to? Good girl.
Oh, I know where, yeah, I know.
6 months. And that was a good one. Jerk though. So long. Yep. We're adding in Scotty now. Good. when we do the on the inside, I'll probably have you try running as well, kind of playfully, create some energy. We'll do one more down on the inside. After this pass by loop, we're gonna bring him on the inside, so it's Kirby walking towards Scotty, and he's gonna kind of like be playful and stuff, just create a bit more energy. Okay. Got a bite. Good. And you're going to come on this side. There we go. And then you're going to reach to the outside. There you go. Do one more. Yeah. Did you see that though?
I didn't see that.
Okay, so I'll explain that. So go ahead and bring back Kirby. Good with Scotty? All right. So, reading dog body language. Open mouth, panting, relaxed state. Okay. On that last one where Scotty ran by and you put energy, what did you see change?
Well, she glanced over, shut her mouth, and sort of got focused.
Yeah. Right. So the more obvious thing is the turning to look, but the more subtle thing is the closing the mouth. So like let's say you're with Kirby, she's got her mouth panting, she's in venting or relaxation, okay? And then you see a dog or a person start to come in closer, I look at the face and you'll see the mouth close, and then that tells you now there's tension, now she's feeling uncomfortable. It's normal, okay? It's what she does afterwards that's important, okay? So she's merely telling you that dog passing that close with that energy made me uncomfortable, right? But then she let it go, she licked her lips, which was venting the stressful moment, and then back to panting. So it's kind of like, oh, that wasn't so bad type of response, right? But let's say you're walking, someone has their dog, and maybe it's a very high energy puppy. And as you get closer, you're watching Kirby, right? That's why it's important, like, that's why it's easy to be stationary, watching that mouth. And then as the puppy gets within 10 feet, all of a sudden the mouth closes. And as the puppy gets closer, it's not going back to open mouth. She's keeping that tension. She's starting to build, right? So then I start to watch for other signs. Is she going to lean forward? Is her hackle's going up? Is she starting to posture? And as soon as I see that shift, boom, right there, I go, knock it out. And she goes back to panting again, right? So now you just disrupted the brain from escalating, okay? So, and this will tell you a lot more about Kirby, because then you'll start to see things, it's a lot more obvious, like, oh, like that made her stress out, and that made her stress out, and this and that. But then I want to see what's the recovery time, right? Does she stress out, let it go, lick her lips, and start panting again? And it's very quick? Excellent, that was super quick, right? But what I wanted to point out was just the change, because people usually don't see that small detail, okay? Question so far? You got a dog coming, by the way. Over there. There you go. So you see how she started to look, and when you tapped, she backed it off and came back to you, right? You just said, knock it off. No words, just the press of a button, okay? That's why I promote e-collar so much.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So for this week, your homework is simply this. Every time you walk Kirby now, I recommend you just use your flat collar, use your prong, your remote collar. Start off with the potty break, and then start your walk, okay? Dogs tend to learn better in smaller chunks, so 20 minutes would be great, or 4 15-minute walks like this.
Yeah.
If all you can do is like one long hour walk, that's perfectly fine, because walking alleviates stress. So you won't like discipline her with this, okay?
She won't get like too fatigued.
Correct, right? So,
Mentally fatigued.
yeah, no, she's fine.
Okay.
As long as the walk's going great, you don't need to do anything. I just keep going forward, right? Only when she's passing do I do that 180 turn and tap to bring her back. And if you need to go back the other way, well, then you slow down and simply walk back this way. If there's places you would typically stay away from, after you get really comfortable, I suggest you start targeting those things. If she has things with kids, that's where I'm going after the lesson. if she's with kids, you know, the park right here, walking on the outside and stuff, the perimeter, you know, kids running around, stopping there, facing towards where the playground is. How do you feel about that energy? I don't like it, but I'll just look at you instead. Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we don't need to have her always looking at you. That's what it is today, because she's being extra cautious. But you will start finding she's going to be a bit more relaxed and actually take in the environment without being overly anxious. Okay. So, shorter walk's better. If all you can do is a longer walk, perfectly fine. I structure my walk 80% play, or 80% walk to 20% play. So if it's an hour-long walk, 45 minutes of structure, 15 of play. So then it'd be like a 5-minute potty break, bit of walking, potty break in the middle, bit of walking, 5-minute potty break at the end, for example.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to behavior, a lot of people go with like, I don't care about the tight heel. I just don't want my dog to pull that much, right? But there's no in between.
Right.
It's either she's here and she's behaving and not reactive, or she's in her own world being free, pulling and doing her doggy thing and being reactive. Okay. For the inside stuff, you can use it to correct her. If she's ever off leash anywhere where there's no enclosure, I don't use de-collar at this stage.
Okay.
So like, let's say she's free in the field, she's eating goose poop. I don't want to remote her because I don't want to spook her. We have to cover recall first before we get to stuff like that. If she's on a leash, you can absolutely correct for anything on the leash, picking up cigarette butts, picking up the chicken wing, picking up the goose poop, because she's not going to get anywhere should she get spooked. Okay. No words this week other than the OK command to release her to let her know your job is done. No heel, laying off the praise, right? It's just expected that she behave herself. At the end of the walk, if you want to give her some praise, perfectly fine, because you're done. Okay. If on the walk she's doing really good and she like comes to stop next to you and you want to give her a little bit of praise, okay, but not too much. Right? Questions?
Is she just like freaked out right now?
She's overly cautious, right? It's normal. Okay, so she's erring on the side of I don't want to be remoted, so let me just lean on dad. Okay, it's a good problem to have. This is what actually addresses the reactivity. Okay, so if you accidentally over tap on a higher number or something and she yips, let it go. You keep moving. Don't try to console her because that's going to just negate the correction. Dogs bite each other. Okay, so you're never going to match the damage of a dog bite. As she starts to understand this tool more, or the association that it has with things, and relax. Okay, and then you start to get more of the balance of it. Right? I am all for first still having her positive things to speak to with her to balance out the collar. So what happened with that gentleman was his dog became too spooked. He didn't want anything with anyone. He was just so regimented. And I told him, no, you can let go. You know, some things, it's control when you want it, and then the freedom when you want to give the dog the freedom, but now you know you can give your dog that. And then once we did that, the dog started to loosen up and open up and be more playful. Okay? So we don't want to kill personality, for sure. But we do want a disciplined dog. So it's kind of just working through that. Anything else?
I think so. Excited to
Yeah, I'm excited to
keep moving forward.
Yeah, no, she'll be good. She made a lot of big strides today.
Yes. For me at least, I already feel better.
Good. Oh, and actually with the slack and stuff, like if you have like just empty block, I get the slack because I'm not worried, right?
Yeah.
And then when you see something coming and you got to shorten it, you know, that's just handler awareness, things like that. And then once you pass it up, you can always get the slack. And eventually you might come to a point where you're so confident and she's doing so well, where you're like, oh, I don't need to do that anymore. But I always tell people in the back of their head, you always still want to be prepared because she is an animal at the end of the day. Okay? And like I'll do things like just giving a bit more space off to the side if I'm not taking up slack, you know, just to create some distance and stuff like that. But otherwise, I think she's going to be just fine. Ready?
All right.
Anything else? Good. And you started your muzzle training, correct?
Yes, although I think I need to get new one because it's too big for her.
Sure.
So.
In the meantime, just use what you have,
Yeah.
so you can just get that practice in, and then we got time about that. As we get that practice in, I can see it. Very subtle, I can see it. So that's why we get the appropriate one. You know, you have to waste time. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Good job, guys. I know next week's 4th of July, so I
Yeah.
think is Maria's moving you guys around, or
She hasn't said anything yet, but I was like, that's another thing I was gonna figure out. I'd like to obviously be
Yeah,
really before so I think.
Yeah, next Saturday. because you got a family.
Sure. So to talk to Maria, see if she can put you in on I know we moved some people to Sunday and stuff, because some people just completely canceled. So if there's any openings, she can put you there.
Okay.
And then otherwise, if anything, we might get delayed a week. It's no big deal. It's more time to make mistakes and stuff like that. Mistakes are good. Mistakes are how you learn. So definitely, once you get really comfortable, start pressing her. Go to places you normally wouldn't. I think there's like Home Depot around here, so if that's something she's kind of uneasy about with the cards and stuff, you can take her in there. Stuff like that. Okay?
Well.
Awesome. Good job, guys. Easy peasy. Anything else? Just call.
Will do.